There aren't many coordinators in the NFL who can say they've done what Matt Nagy has done. In the last 3 years, he's been to 3 Super Bowls. He's got 2 rings. Hell, his rookie year as a head coach for the Bears, he was voted Coach of the Year. On paper, a resume like that should come with an ego and ample opportunities. It should open doors. And yet, that hasn't been the case. If Chicago taught him anything, it's that winning games and knowing football aren't the only things that get you ready for the next big job. Sometimes it takes looking within. So in the 2025 offseason, he phoned a friend.
A friend of mine, Laura Oakman, who I became close with in my time in Chicago. For years, many years, she's been bringing up to me about a blind spot report that she does. And
okay, what is that, a blind spot report?
A blind spot report is something where you get X amount of people. For my scenario, what I did this past offseason was you get a list of 40 people that you care immensely about what their feelings are and what their opinions are. It's not the Nagy fan club. It's not all people that like you or it's people that I've coached with, coached for, whether it's ownership, personnel, players, coaches, friends, and it's some that have been fired from me that I care what they think in regards to their opinions and how I can be better. And it's anonymous. So okay. I get a 45-page report that's anonymous, full of hundreds of quotes of things that I did well, but more importantly to me, things that I need to do better. Mm-hmm. Fast forward to right before training camp, she made a phone call to me, and we did a 5-hour Zoom.
5 hours?
5 hours. We started at 4 o'clock, and we went till 9 o'clock on a Zoom call. I didn't know how it was going to go, but it was one of the most profound things in 5 hours I've ever done in my entire life. It was revealing, just powerful. She joked with me, do you want the good stuff or do you want the other stuff? And I said, I want the other stuff right now. Let's dive into it. Yeah, I really did. I wanted to know, what are my blind spots? Where can I have been better? That's important to me.
A 45-page anonymous report that basically tells you how much you sucked during the biggest job in your life. Nah, not for me. But some of the quotes in this thing, well, they were pretty interesting. I'm going to start with the good. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the times when we think about coaches, we think about success in terms of winning a Super Bowl or how many wins we got. But this player says, but for me, when I'm done with my career of all my coaches, I'll only invite Coach Matt Nagy to my retirement party. You don't know who said that.
Yeah, I don't.
What's that mean to you?
They're playing for you, and you're coaching for them, and they feel that. So when you have that connectivity, it's powerful. It's easy to do when you're winning. It's easy to do when things are good. But to me, where I wanted people to understand who I was when things weren't good, how did I react? How was I? Was I different or was I me? And I hope most people think that I was me. I do think there was times where I wasn't me. That's where, again, going through those times, I want to do everything I can to stay true to myself.
I'm going to have you read off maybe some of the not so good ones.
Yeah.
All right. I'll hand you this. Read the second one.
It's easy to be overwhelmed in that chair, especially the first time you're in that chair. You have to lean on your people. You can't do it all. You have to delegate. He took on a lot more tasks than what he needed to.
Fair?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, why did you not trust the people around you?
It wasn't that I didn't trust them. I trusted them. I needed to have more trust. I needed to be able to let them do and empower them and let them do what they're great at. And when you try to go around and do more a little bit here or there, you have 100 different distractions that takes you away from what you need to do best, which is let them do their thing, be the head coach, and be there to support them, be there for the players, and hit the different silos within the organization as a leader.
So that's a legitimate blind spot.
That's absolutely legitimate blind spot for me, is to make sure that on the front end, you delegate and you empower people to do what they do best, and then you be the leader that you can be and why you got hired.
Given Nagy's pedigree, his resume, his reputation around the league as a progressive offensive mind, there was one more quote that was probably most surprising. Read the last quote here for us.
take a long, hard look at calling plays. He's great at it, but I think his leadership, vision, and the way he touches people and communicates with people will have a stronger impact because it's rare. If you're not calling plays, you are seeing around corners more, and it just takes so much time and it gets easy to get lost.
If you got that job because you are this great play caller, why don't you keep calling plays? In your next role, are you going to call plays?
So I would start off by saying every situation is a little bit different. I've always been taught to never say always and never, right?
Okay.
But really, for me, I'm really intrigued by the CEO leadership role. A lot of stuff that came back from the positive side in the blind spots was just that they feel like, and I do believe that a lot of my strengths is from the leadership side of being able to build relationships, empower people, be a leader of people. And I have, over the last 2 years, really spent some time talking to some coaches and some people on that leadership side of coaches that aren't maybe calling plays and more of the CEO style approach, and it's been very intriguing and neat to hear.
What was something that you heard in this report that you didn't know that you needed to hear?
I would say maybe a little bit of the communication side. I always felt like because of my honesty, I always feel like, and I'm willing to have tough conversations. So I feel like communication-wise, I felt like at the time I was better at that than I thought. You really have to have your ducks in line, and you have agents involved with players. You have coaches with their feelings and making sure that you're doing everything you need to do for them. You have the media as well, right? So Chicago media, it's not easy.
No.
Right? They'll get after you quick.
Yeah.
And so I really feel like for me,
Did they trip you up sometimes? Did you trip yourself up sometimes?
there was probably some times, yeah, where you get into a moment where you're like, you know what? Because I really, again, when you're winning, things are easy, and it's fun. When you lose, it's their job to ask you tough questions. It's your job to answer it honestly and give them how you think you can get better. I really believe that I probably could have been better in that aspect of being able to know what you're going through, know what you signed up for, and be able to help them out. And in return, then they're still going to ask you tough questions.
Sure.
They're still going to come after you. But understand that this is a part of the process.
So it sounds like Nagy got some really great feedback. But that means nothing if you don't take the time to change and put things into action. You get this, you read this, the 5 hours, the emotion. What do you immediately put into action for yourself?
Being able to be myself is something that I feel like that came back that again in 2018 I was myself, and so making sure that you're always just you know the balance, the checks and balances with how you are with your personality and being yourself. Right now for me, the biggest thing as a coordinator right now in Kansas City is making sure that I'm doing everything I can to empower our staff, our offensive staff. Let the guys do what they can do and be great at it. And so I have done that this year. I feel like the coaches have done a great job, and I've been able to empower them and delegate.
Great to see you, man.
Great seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which side y'all want me on this one?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Appreciate you doing this, man. And those around him have noticed the difference. Patrick, you got to know Matt Nagy your rookie season.
Yep.
What is the difference between the Matt Nagy of your rookie year to the Matt Nagy of today?
Yeah, I think with all experience that you get better from. And he's learned, and I think he already knew, but learned even more on how to just talk and interact with more and more people and be able to go out there and have his voice in the offense, but also get the voice from the players, which I think is really cool. And you can see how excited guys are to go out there and play when you have receivers drawing up their own plays and tight ends drawing up their own plays. And they might not be exactly what they drew up, but they have their imprint on the offense, which I think gets guys fired up to go out there and execute the plays.
So that's a pretty fun thing. You don't hear that all the time. Obviously, he's taking your input on what to do out there, but he's taking the input from other guys as well.
Yeah, and he wants to hear what they feel the most confident in. That's sometimes you want to go out there and make your plays fit the players, but sometimes you want the players to put their input on them so that the players fit the plays. And so whenever you hear the guy and how he describes how he runs routes or describes what he's best at, you can put him in the right position to go out there and succeed. And I think that comes with the experiences that he's had here and in previous places before.
Now we sit in an odd situation. 1 year after winning 12 one-score games, the Chiefs nearly lost all of them this season. They never established a run game. The receivers had inopportune drops. Honestly, to call this offense mid would be generous. And to make matters worse, Patrick Mahomes has an ACL injury that threatens the start of next year. The Chiefs missed the playoffs for the first time in a decade, and this chapter of the dynasty has come to a close. Yet, Matt Nagy is garnering interest from teams around the league looking for a veteran head coach. And the big question is he ready?
A long time ago, you said that he was the best coaching prospect you had ever had, which you've had a lot of great ones.
Sure.
What made you say that, and do you still feel that way?
Yeah, no, I feel great about him. He's a tremendous football coach, great person. So that's a big part of running an organization. You got to have somebody that an owner trusts. He's putting everything into his hands. So he's got to be a good person. He's got to work hard. He's got to be a good leader of men, in this business. And then he also brings the football part of it, the knowledge. And that part hasn't changed. He's just built on that over the years here. And I would tell you, better prepare. Well, yeah, because he's had that experience. Yeah.
Beyond learning the valuable skills of self-reflection and course correction, Nagy perhaps learned the biggest lesson anyone can, that there is no substitute for experience.
So, Matt, the big question here that I think everybody would want to know is, when you get another head coaching opportunity, why is it going to be different?
I'm convicted on the belief of knowing what I went through is going to make me such a better head coach. I know it. This is not one of those deals where you get fired and a year or two later you want to be a head coach again. That was not my story. My story is I want to be a great coach. I want to be a great leader. I want to be there for the coaching staff, the players, etc. When you have a player that comes into your office crying because his best friend was just killed at 8 in the morning on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning, how are you going to handle that? I never went through that before as a coordinator or position coach. But here I am with a player in my office. This guy's looking for somebody to just be able to cry on his shoulder and talk about his best friend he just lost, Or, you go through a player that says, are you okay if they miss the game, their grandmother's dying from COVID? That's not necessarily in the playbook or the question that they ask you when you're preparing for a head coaching job. I've been through it. I couldn't say that before. I've been through a lot, and I think that's going to help me tremendously. And I truly feel like the next opportunity and the right opportunity, things will be so good because of Chicago, because of Kansas City. And no matter where that is or whenever that is, I'm going to use it the right way.